Do you ever feel like you're playing the role of referee while your kids argue, complain, and yell at each other? Hey, shh, personal foul, that's 5 minutes and timeout. Hey, I'm Dr. Dave, and on today's Thrive in 5, I'll share 5 steps for emotion coaching your kids and discuss times when we play the role of referee, coach, and the fan in the stands. Parenting is one of the most exhausting and rewarding experiences we'll ever have in this life. And yes, sometimes we feel like all we do is play the role of referee with the arguments and the name calling. I totally get it. So let's discuss referees. The purpose of a referee in most sports is to keep the players safe and make sure the rules are followed. And sometimes as parents, we need to play this role. But let's talk about what a referee doesn't do. A referee should never yell at or shame a player for violating the rules. In fact, in basketball, if someone takes too many steps and travels, the ref doesn't shake his head and tell the player, "Get your head in the game," and remind him he can't take 3 steps. He simply blows the whistle, makes things right, which might mean giving the ball to the other team, and his goal is to keep the game going as quickly and as safely as possible. When we play the role of referee as parents, our goal should be the same thing: no yelling, and get things back going after administering natural consequences. There are other times as parents we need to play the role of coach, which is teaching the fundamentals, planning and preparing, even sitting players when they need a rest or need to calm down, and making decisions strategically. Coaches even help players to become better by pointing out what they did well, giving encouragement, and doing more teaching when they can see room for improvement. And finally, as parents, sometimes we play the role of the fan in the stands. The role of fans is to cheer and show support even during rough times. It's not easy to balance those 3 roles as parents, but all 3 are important and important to do well. So let's dive a bit deeper into the coaching or teaching role as parents. Before any effective teaching is done, it's so important to establish a positive, loving relationship with your children. Assuming that is there, these next 5 steps of emotion coaching may be helpful. But first, why emotions? Well, that's really what makes us human. A wise parenting expert once said, "Fish swim, birds fly, and people feel." That's what we do. I know it's really tempting when your child is angry or really sad to dismiss or disapprove of emotions with words like, "Hey, there's no reason to be so angry," or "Don't be such a wimp, quit your crying." It's important to realize that all feelings and wishes are acceptable, but not all behaviors are acceptable. So the first step of emotion coaching is being aware of a child's emotions. This may sound simple, but it's critical to be in tune with what your child is feeling in a given situation. Pay attention to their body language, their facial expressions, and their gestures. The second step is recognizing emotions as opportunities for connection and teaching. It may not be in the heat of the moment. In fact, science shows that children aren't open to much of your teaching when they're experiencing a really strong emotion. But sometimes emotional times are times to connect, whether it's a hug or putting your arm around a frustrated child. Now, the third step is listening with empathy and validating their feelings. And it goes hand in hand with the fourth step, which is labeling their emotions with words. Whether a child is sad because he fell down and skinned his knee or upset because she has to go to bed, the key is reflecting their feelings without any kind of problem solving at first. The last step in emotion coaching is setting limits and problem solving. Limits include things like not hitting or yelling at others, and then problem solving could include asking them what they think should happen next. Let's see how these 5 steps work in an example. I remember one time our son got off the school bus and came home and was crying because of a scuffle he got into on the bus. Immediately we recognized his anger and tears, and we listened to what happened. We said things like, "Wow, I'm sure you were really mad and wanted that boy to move off your seat." And as he talked, he became more emotional, and we just hugged him and told him we were so sorry. Now later, after he had calmed down a bit, then we problem solved with him with questions like, when that happens again, what do you think you should do?" And we work things out. Again, this parenting thing is tough, and we'll find ourselves playing the role of referee, fan in the stands, and as the coach, trying to help them manage their emotions and their feelings.